the experience where you go into something thinking that it's going to be very meaningful and powerful, but in the end, it turns out to be not what you expected. That's what I found in viewing this play Seminar. Uh, is about four writing students in a graduate level writing program being taught by a teacher who exudes the stereotypical tough, critical instructor feel. I think something that really took away meaning from the play, I think that would have added a lot more meaning, is making the characters more well-rounded and continuous. I felt like there was a lot of discontinuity, and that took away from the meaning of the play as an exploration of what it takes to be a, a writer, or especially a young writer in today's world. The characters of two of the writing students, Douglas and Izzy, sort of the first thing that brought about this whole air about discontinuity and lack of clarity. Both of them were very stereotypical. Douglas is a very stuck-up person with family connections, and Izzy, this sort of flirty person who do anything to get ahead. I felt that they did not really change throughout the story, throughout the play, as in the end they maintained this persona throughout. They didn't really show a lot of growth, I thought, and then they just somehow got writing jobs, but didn't really go dive deeper into the inner meaning, the inner feelings of both of the characters. Another character that I felt was lacking was the character of Katie. I felt like she possibly could have really personified this great rise as a writer and showed a lot to the audience of the quality of a writer and what it takes. She struggled through a lot of criticism from the teacher Leonard in the beginning, and she she seemed to have a little bit of a turnaround in herself as she decided to write a story under a different name and see how the teacher liked it, which he did. I think to me there was a bit of a gap between that moment and the end of the story where she's sort of dissatisfied, gets a minor writing job, moves to Ohio. And I felt like the connection between the two was not breached effectively enough that took away meaning as you didn't see the leap in the ultimate growth that it took for her to reach this final level as a writer. One character that I did think provided a little more of an insight on the writing process as a whole was that of Martin. To the beginning of the seminar itself, he was a little reluctant to show his writing, but once he did, the instructor really liked it. But at the same time, Martin had discovered a secret about Leonard that he thought was true, which is that Leonard plagiarized as a young writer, and that's why he was so grumpy and very critical today. And Martin confronted Leonard about this, and Leonard basically dismissed him and told them the truth, which means which he said he was falsely accused, and basically got very angry at Martin and left and basically quit teaching the seminar. In the end, Martin goes to Leonard to apologize, and in the end, the two end up reconciling, and Leonard offers Martin a job. I think, and Martin decides to share his work and expand as a writer. I think that this is really effective because it showed the growth, it showed the passion that drove Martin forward, that the realization that he had in the end, the epiphany to become an effective writer. But I did believe also that a big detractor of the scene was Leonard himself. Leonard typified the whole, the tough, overbearing instructor with the deep personal secret, which was that he was falsely accused of being plagiarist and that ruined his career. I felt like he maintained that throughout the end, in which he sort of conceded to Martin by giving them a job. I felt like by conceding, it sort of showed a weakness or a flaw in his character that showed that like writing, it can't have. I mean, I felt like the play was like you work hard to become a writer, but this showed that sort of, just giving a bit of a break to Martin at the end to become a writer. That sort of confused me as in the whole direction of the piece or what they're trying to show overall. In in short, I think the play has a lot of potential to really delve deep into the inner minds of writers and what they could be and what they could become and how they could become that. But I think the lack of connection between character choices really took away meaning from the play, and it left me, and I'm sure it leave a lot of the audience a little bit confused and wanting more information, wanting more substance of what it takes to actually become a writer.